Fire. Fire. Yes, that's exactly what we are going to be talking about today. Financial independency, retire early. Have you ever heard of it? Yes, this is a terminology that I've heard first in 2018, I would say. And I was like, whoa, what the hell is that? People accumulate riches or wealth, and that money works for them, and they are able then to retire early. Does it sound enthusiastic to you? Or at least a little bit enticing? Does it brings in some curiosity? Yes or no? For me, it does. Because of that terminology I've heard, I started researching, achieve, calculate, take 4%, and this and that. And my brain was like, whoa, so many information. So many people have achieved that already. Why am I not there yet? And yes, I will say I'm not so far. No, I'm not so far. Yes, what I understood from the FIRE world. So basically, it's a very simple concept where you calculate your annual expenses, and based on that, you will apply 4% of it, which is what you are allowed to take, and it will provide you with that standard of living that you currently have. And I was like, okay, so let me calculate how much I spend on a monthly basis. Yes, and I got to the number now because I have full control of my expenditure. Always remember the 70-30 money rule that I taught you guys. Okay, so based on that, I calculated that for me to live on a yearly basis, it costs me 15,000 euro. I need to apply 4% on top of that 15,000 euro, or divide 15 by 0.04, and it brought me a number, 388,000. Yes, this is how much I should have invested to be able to retire early. Yes. Meanwhile, I was like, but then I'll be taking 4%, 4%. The money will grow, the money will reduce in value, and then I'll be taking 4% and 4% and 4% and 4%. I don't like that idea, to be honest. I do like the dividend strategy idea that I have been working on and developing for myself throughout the last 3.5 years. Basically, what I intend to do is invest most of my money into dividend payers, companies which pay me at least 6%, like minimum 6%. A company can be as good as possible, but if it's not paying a basic 6% dividend payout on a yearly basis, I will potentially not consider that company. Okay, and with that, I got to a number much smaller than what the FIRE tells me to do. So let's get started, guys. So here I'm having a breakdown of my monthly expenses, not annual. And I'm saying, okay, my essentials are actually 720 euro. I have some budget for education, my pleasure, and holidays. On a monthly basis, how much am I spending? I'm spending 1,300 euro, okay? 1296, let's be honest. And that's total an annual expenditure of 15,000 euro, 556. And when I calculate 4% of the FIRE, I should have invested 388,000 invested in my portfolio. So it would allow me to retire. But when I look at the dividend strategy, it's a much reduced number. So I'm saying here that with that same amount of money, if I'm getting the 10% that I told you guys in the other video, which is my strategy, I will be investing in companies which are paying at least minimum 6%. So in the overall balance, I will be aiming to get 10% out of dividends on a yearly basis. So 10% is how much I intend to get. I'm reducing that by 27.5%, which is the total tax I must pay to the government, unfortunately. And that's basically it. With 214,000, I would be able to retire. Why is that? Because on a monthly basis, I have this here. This is basically the same Excel spreadsheet we discussed in the How I'm Gonna Become a Millionaire video. Yes, and here I'm saying that, guys, in 8 years, I will be able to think about retirement. But of course, considering a very basic standard of living. And that's not what I want. I have my reasons to be willing to achieve my first €1,000,000, okay? But in 2028, I can go to my boss and say, bye boss. I'm not so sure that will happen because I'm still very far away from what I really want in life, okay? I would have 25% of that 1 million, or even 25, but I would be around the 20% of what I really want. And for me, guys, that's interesting, enticing, and motivating, because you think of, like, when I started, I had zero, okay? And yes, zero. How much is 10% of zero? Zero. Yes. And as we grow little by little, you get, like, in the first year, like a couple hundred of euro, maybe not even €100, and then in the second year maybe you get like €500, and then you see, like, now with this 53,000 for this year, I'm supposed to be getting 4,400 euro worth of dividends after tax, okay? And if I split that on a monthly basis, it's basically 366 euro per month. It's already a considerable good amount of money, because it's money that I'm generating, my employees are generating for me, without me having to work for that, okay? I worked initially, I got my money, I invested it wisely, and now it's working for me. So this is the magic of investing, saving and investing, really. There is nothing more beautiful than that. And then when we look at 2023, look, I will jump from earning 366 euro per month to 500 euro per month. And how much will I have invested? That will be around my first 100K. Yes, hopefully I will achieve that before, but let's keep it simple and not, what's the word? I forgot the word now. I will not damage myself to try to speed up the process, and I'm enjoying it. I'm really going with the flow. I have time to invest into learning. Yes, because learning is a very important part to it all. Like, without studying, without being committed to my first and main achievement, I would never be able to have the little I already have. For some, it's very little, but for me, it's very important. It's a very great achievement, okay? And then another thing, another year, 2024, I'm there, 125,000, and be generating 643 euro free of tax, because it's after tax, in my pocket every month. And then 2025, 153,000 will be my portfolio, and it will be generating around roughly 800 euro per month. And then let's go 2026, we are almost there, reaching that 1,300 euro goal, and we have a portfolio of 182,961. Next year, 2027, we are almost there. How much is my portfolio? 214. Yes, 214. Now it gets in the number. Last year, 2028. it goes directly there. I will be generating 13,000. I wish. I will be generating 1,300 euro per month, and there it goes. I will be able to fully fund my own expenses, my monthly expenses, and of course live a frugal life, the way I live it nowadays. And for me, I would say, guys, I really live a good life. It's not a life where I'm miserable, I cannot do things because my budget is too tight, and I'm putting a lot of constraints on what I can do or on what I cannot do. That's not the thing. In that year is the year when you look at and see and think, everything I've done so far since 20, okay, since 2018, it's not fair to say that. You know why? Because I started working when I was 12 years old. Now I'm 29. So, and ever since I've saved, I've not invested, but I was always putting it into my savings account, not generating anything. And I invested in my education. I made some financial stupid choices which cost me a lot of money, but then I became an adult. I spent a lot of money. I made my first mistakes, financial mistakes, and then I've learned a lot with those mistakes. I became better. I became a professional accountant. I've learned how to evaluate a business, and then I started applying that into my day-to-day life. And that's what I have been doing. So it's not only 2018 when I definitely started for good, but it's the whole process around all of that. And seeing that where I come from, the background I have, my upbringing, in how many years? In 6 years, basically, I will be able to retire based on the FIRE is a very good thing. Okay, remember, I'm not applying 100% the FIRE movement, and here I'm saying that with the FIRE, I will need 388,000 euro to retire, although with the dividend strategy, I will need much less than that. I will need roughly 210,000, 248,000. Okay, it's 30,000 difference, depending on the way we calculate it. But here, guys, the numbers, they don't lie. Okay, so if you really want to think about your future, if you are also interested in learning more, stay tuned, and really, you'll never regret it. You'll never. Sometimes I get lost with my words. You are not going to regret it, really. I'm learning, but I'm learning, and as I learn, I teach you all as well, guys. And we are exchanging value here. We are saying, yes, I can do it or I cannot do it, and we are going to do it together. If you also want to achieve your financial freedom, if you are also interested in learn more, stay tuned, and don't forget, just subscribe and smash that like button, of course, if you got value from this video. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Thank you very much, and bye bye.